digital around the world.
The next one to chair and to moderate the session is Latif Ladid, if I'm not wrong. Latif, the founder and the president of IPv6 Forum, and talking about EU and China collaboration in the 5G domain. Latif, the floor is yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes, the floor is yours. Okay, well, we heard Latif for a moment, but not anymore. So let's, oh, at least he can change the slides. So that's good.
Hello, everyone. In fact, I will be the host of the session. My name is Kai. I'm trying to share my screen. Can you see it now?
Yes, it's on.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, welcome to this session on EU-China collaboration in the 5G domain. In the next hours, myself and our 8 other speakers and panelists will be with you discussing the experience and lessons learned of the EU-China collaboration. So that's our aim, and then we're going to do that through talking about the experience of the 2 twinning projects, 5G Drive funded by the European Commission, and also the 5G products large-scale trial projects funded by the Chinese Ministry. So our 1 hour is quite packed. We have the keynote opening brought by Mr. Jean-Pierre Bienaimé. He is the chairman of the Institute of Economic and Social Research on Telecommunications, and he was the Secretary General of the 5G Infrastructure Association, and also he's a member of the advisory board of 5G Drive projects. And then we will go into the 2 twinning projects, mainly on the collaboration aspects. And we will have from our European side the China 5G Drive projects introduced by the coordinator, Mr. Uwe Herzog from Irest, and the scientific coordinator, Dr. Chen Tao. And from the China side, Mr. Liu Jianhua and Ms. Zheng Yingxiang from China Mobile will be introducing on the Chinese projects. And then we will have the panel discussion session going into more concrete examples and best practices of the collaboration. And then our sessions will be closed by a keynote closing by Dr. Chih-Lin, who is the chief scientist for wireless technology at the China Mobile, on a bit of a forward-looking message on how the 2 regions will collaborate. So now I would like to give the floor to our first speaker, Mr. Jean-Pierre Bienaimé. On the overall EU strategy on 5G and the collaboration with China. Jean-Pierre. Do we have Jean-Pierre in the session already? If not, we can perhaps we can go first to the session of Uwe and Tao.
Yeah, I think Jean-Pierre was just chatting that he has difficulties to activate the microphone.
Yes, let's do that. No problem. So Jean-Pierre, if you can hear me, we will go first to Uwe's session. Okay. Uwe, the floor is yours.
Okay, I switched on the camera. Can you hear me as well?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, very good. Then let's go to the slide that I have prepared. Could you just flip through to my starting slide?
Yep. Can you see it?
I see you still on the 5G action plan.
I'm actually already in your slides. Wait a second. Maybe I can try to share again. Let me just try again. Okay. How about now? It's better.
Yeah, you're on slide 2 now. That's okay. Okay,
Yeah.
good. Yeah, you can immediately flip over. So yeah, thanks Kai
Perfect.
for the introduction. So yeah, as Kai introduced me, I'm Uwe Herzog. I'm with Irest, and I'm the coordinator of the 5G Drive project. Before I start, I think it's important to mention the motivation and background behind that. So the idea was to facilitate joint trialing between EU and China on 5G. And to that end, 2 projects have been set up, one in China and a twinning project in the EU. And the EU project is the 5G Drive. And yeah, I have just 2 slides to briefly introduce the overall setting of the 5G Drive project. Then Tao, who is the technical manager, will give some more technical details. Okay, so on the European side, yeah, 5G Drive, same as on the Chinese side, probably the goal of the project is to bridge 5G developments between Europe and China through joint trialing activities in 5G, but also through research activities. And the overall goal is to facilitate the technology convergence, but also spectrum harmonization in business. The project is running for 2.5 years. We started already in September 2018, so it's now 2 years ago already. And it's a research and innovation action under Horizon 2020 program. Further down on the slide, you can see the icons, the logos of our project partners. So we are 17 partners from 10 countries in Europe. And yeah, I don't think I need to go into detail of that, and we can simply flip over to the next slide. Yeah, as I said, collaborates with the 5G large-scale trial project, which is coordinated by China Mobile in China. The scope of the activities is to cover all network elements, starting on the user side from terminals and then through the network, RAN, transport network, core network, and even addressing 5G services. So basically everything that you should look at when you do 5G trialing. On our side in Europe, we have 3 trial sites. You can see them. I'm not sure you can read that. With the circles on the right-hand side, the blue ones depict the ones that we have in Europe, and the orange ones are the 5 trial sites in China. In the chart on the left-hand side here, you see just a small overview of how we are constructed. We have 5G Drive, you see at the bottom, the Chinese twin project at the top, and in the middle, the technical activities give a good overview of what we are doing. And I think important to keep in mind and to know is that we have 2 use cases, 2 scenarios that we have in focus for the trialing activities, and that is EMBB and V2X. And then you see a number of things that we are going to do with that. And as said before, we are addressing from technical innovation through joint trialing everything. With that, basically, I've finished this introduction and can hand over to Tao for going more into some technical details of our joint work. Thank you.
Thank you, Uwe. So we now give the floor to Tao, our scientific coordinator of the 5G Drive project.
Okay, thanks, Kai. So, by the way, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so this project, so we mainly focus on this 5G trials and also V2X trials. Also, we have a research part, but mainly I will introduce these trial activities from the project, since this main cooperation happens with Chinese power project. So for the EMB trials, so our project will mainly do the 5G basic performance test, and so we used our test network. So in project we have 2 trial sites. one trial site is in University of Surrey, so this is set up by 5GIC. So this trial site has 3 micro base stations and around 60 small cells and cover indoor and outdoor. And for iSport trial site, and so we have 2 GLB and also as a couple of small cells, 5G small cells cover indoor. So for both sites, and so we work on this non-standard mode and work on 6.5 gigahertz band. So for the frequency band, and so since this is a test network, and we cannot get the full bandwidth for 5G, so we have around 60 to 100 megahertz. So this, of course, may affect the throughput of the results. And for the test, and so we focus on the test of this radio access network, and also the measurement of the transport network, and also the support for the edges, for the this edge computing services, and also for support for the Latif slicing. So quite a lot of tests we are doing. But for the radio access network, and we do the measurement for the outdoor measurement, and also the indoor coverage measurement, and also we contact the test, the driving and test. So for now, since the project has been already conducted for 2 years, and so we have already done the outdoor test, and now we are working on the indoor test. And for some results, and you can see here, we measurement for the driving test we can achieve for the downlink for 500 megabit per second, and uplink we have 70 megabit per second. So the results we have, and we include in our final report. So final the trial report in the deliverables. So we are still working on the trials. And since this trial is a cooperation with this Chinese twin project, so one important aspect is the joint trials. And joint trials we have done this fortunately last year we were able to do the joint trial in China with China Mobile, and we have done this non-standard non-test and also standard non-test. So the China side, they have the different frequency band. And China Mobile, they use 2.6 gigahertz and also for 4.9 gigahertz. So we can compare the difference. So the idea is that we do similar test and the performance test, and then in the end we compile the result and see the difference, and also see these interoperability problems if there, and how to solve it. So all this will be included in our final trial report. And next slides is please. And so for the V2X trials, so Kai, can you turn the page?
Yes, I did.
Okay, it seems like I'm still on the other page. Okay, now it's okay.
Yeah.
So
for
yeah. So for V2X trials, so we focus on the test of this CV2X V2X use cases. So these use cases, and we identified many focus on these 2 use cases on growth, so and also the intersections avoidance use cases. So for the trial site, so we have 2 sites, and one is in iSport site, so is the same location as our this EMBB trial site. And also we have some part of work has been done in Tampere, different site for pre-test. So this site, in addition to the network infrastructure, and we also have automated car, and then the car equipped with these different sensors, and also this CV2X this onboard unit, and also we also install this 5G CPE into the car and test this vehicle to network and the performance. And for GRC site, and we have also the test field, a very large test field for the outdoor test. And in addition to that, we have also they have this laboratory and the chamber to do the indoor measurement. And one important measurement to be done is this coexistence of the G5 and the PC5. Okay, so for the progress so far, and we have already done some tests on these two use cases. And because there's some delay and also the situation is in this year, so there's some delay and we still working on the how to say how to set up the final system and do the final test. But we have done some tests on these two use cases, and also for this G5 and the PC5 coexist test, they have results and has been reported to this AZ, and there's one stand on this 5G coexistence on this 5G 5.9 gigahertz to have been put there. So also for this V2X test, and our idea is that we do cooperation with Chinese twin project, and we identify these two use cases, and they also do their in China side, and later on Yinshan will report that. So we will compare the test results and also the performance regarding this CV2X equipment. And the final results, of course, will be reported in our project final deliverables. So next, and since this cooperation is a key topic in the project, I just to report and what kind of joint trials we have done. So and from the project, and we have done 5 times joint test in the last year. So because of this, how to say, virus situation this year, so we have some problems to visit to China and to the joint test in this year. So for these two, so we have two type of the EMBB trials, and one is focused on these non-standalone trials. So our project partners, we visit China trial site in Hangzhou, and we do 3 type of tests. So the one is this massive MIMO basic performance test. And the next one is this small cells 5G indoor test. So the coverage and the coverage in the buildings, and this 5G small cells is use this radio remote head. And the last one is this driving test in the city center, since the city is quite a denser city with a lot of populations. So the 5G base stations are installed in the city center, and then we have a driving test to see performance and how each site are interference to each other. So the idea is that we do this test, we get the results, and then we compare also. We will repeat a test also in the Europe side, and we compare the results. And for this joint activity, we have already published some joint publication regarding the test results. And the next test is this standalone test. So because this finally 5G will go to standalone mode, and that will support more capacity. So for this test, and we focus on also the MIMO test, because massive MIMO and for standalone, they have double the capacity for the uplink. So we do test for indoor coverage, and also. One interesting thing is that we also do the driving test in highway, since highway they need a high speed, and we see how the handover happens, and what's how is the coverage, and also the basic this data rate can be provided to the use equipment. So so we have done this test, and for the indoor coverage test, and we have some cooperation to prepare a joint publications, and to see how to can modeling this indoor coverage, and to improve the indoor coverage performance. So this is the joint test we have done. So we hope we can do something more, but we will see since project is still ongoing. So in the lastly, and we just want to highlight the cooperation we have, and so in addition to the joint trials, and we have organized this project workshops. We have 2 times workshops in China and 1 time in Europe, basically in UK. And also, in addition to this project event, and also we organized some joint workshop and open to the public. So, and we thanks to the China team and here also here today to present the results from their side. So we have made some very good cooperations and have some concrete results. And so the project is still ongoing until the mid of next year or so. We hope we will, in the end, we will have found more results to present and to deliver in the project. Okay, that's the presentation from my side. Thanks.
Thank you very much. So now we have our keynote opening speaker, Jean-Pierre, here. Can you hear me, Jean-Pierre? I'm gonna switch to your slides.
Yes, I can hear you, Kai, and sorry for the inconvenience, but with my Google account, I had issues with the Microsoft Teams.
No problem.
And I was obliged to deactivate it on my PC in order to be able to join the meeting, which is curious. Sorry for that.
Can you see your slides now?
Yes, I can see the last slides of the last presentation.
Okay, so again, I have to stop it and then share again. Sorry. Wait. Okay. All right.
Nice presentation from 5G Drive.
Thank you very much.
Sorry for presenting the introduction after the project, but let's.
No problem. Can you see it now?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, perfect. So
I will stay you next for slides. Okay, so just to introduce on this reminder on the 5G action plan of the European Commission, created and delivered in September 2016, so 4 years ago now, with two main steps. First step, within a bit more than 2 months, commercial launch of 5G services in at least one major city in all member states by end of 2020. And for instance, in France, we have just had the frequency spectrum allocations at the end of September, so it will be very tight, but the four operators will be at the appointment. And second step, second appointment, by the end of 2025, 5G in all urban areas and along main transport paths. Next. And let's also insist on the current phase 3 of the 5G PPP European project. Phase 1 was targeted on research projects. Phase 2 was the introduction of verticals inside the project consortia. And phase 3 is more targeted on demo trial platforms and pre-commercial trials and projects with large-scale trials with focus on verticals. And in parallel, there is this big European Union initiative on the 5G connected cars in EU with the 9 or 10 cross-border corridors. Next. Next.
Yeah, it takes a bit time. Yeah.
So just in June, by end June, mid of this year, a photograph, an image of the 5G launches throughout the world. And you can see that on the top of the slide, there were the earlier commercial launches, mainly in USA and South Korea. Nevertheless, one country in Europe with ELISA, a Nordic country, has launched with network only. And let's remind that it was the same for 4G when in December 2009, 4G was launched in Europe in the Nordic countries, Sweden and Norway. But Europe began in last year to launch in several countries, and we have now 15 European member states launched with 30 active networks. Let's precise that it's the first step, very first step of 5G, the 5G non-standalone release 15. But nevertheless, it has to be mentioned. And the next big step will be the Olympic Games in Japan in August 2021. Next. Then let's insist also on the European trials that have been launched now 2 years ago. And these nearly 200 5G trials in the 27 member states plus UK with 250 5G enabled cities throughout Europe. And in terms of vertical applications that are covered, you can see that the first domain is media and entertainment, followed by transport, followed by automotive, then industry 4.0, factories of the future, and then media and then e-health. Sorry. Next. So this shows the vertical sectors that are covered by 5G PPP projects, and the network functionalities on the left, in horizontally, and vertically the vertical applications. So you can see that all big range of vertical applications are covered with the main functionalities of 5G features, perhaps in traffic steering for automated vehicles. It still has to be deepened, and also advanced security, but mainly network slicing, 5G NR capabilities are mainly covered in this. I also have to mention that at the 5G PPP we had launched last year, the 5G vertical users workshops that are now webinar series, and the results were strong involvement in the verticals throughout the vertical industry associations in the 5G standardization and development, with a participation in 3GPP meetings and process, which is very important. Next. Yes, just to mention, or perhaps you can come back, sorry, Kai, come back on the previous one.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. On release, the next 3GPP release 17, will really embark all those vertical applications, and such as enhanced requirements in factories, video surveillance, high density URLLC connections, also wireless sensor networks with high terminal density, also the enhanced V2X requirements for the automated vehicles. So definitely the release 17 that will be finalized by the end of 2021, hopefully, will cover all those vertical requirements. Next. So this slide shows that we speak of partnership between EU and China, but EU with throughout the 5G Infrastructure Association has signed the Global 5G Event Multilateral MOU, and we have now seen last month at the occasion of the IEEE 5G World Forum. We had the signature of the accession of India TSDSI to this multilateral agreement. So now 7 5G industry associations of main regions and countries in the world are linked with this partnership, which is a good positive sign. Next. So I will not go to the history, but in the 3 past years, this July 17 meeting between authorities and industry associations and actors of EU and China met in Brussels in summer 2017 through a EU-China workshop on 5G developments and collaboration opportunities, where automobile vendors, service providers, research institutes were invited to present their 5G developments and to discuss opportunities of cooperation on the Internet of Connected Vehicles and collaborating in 5G trials. Next. So let's mention also a second quite interesting initiative, which was the exciting project, finished now, the EU-China study on IoT and 5G to support cooperation opportunities between Europe and China, in particular for IoT and 5G. Next.
Yeah, I suggest we maybe go quickly through this. We are a bit short of time here. Yeah, thank you for mentioning. Exciting. It's a great project.
Yeah,
good collaboration with you and.
Just it was the outcomes, the expected outcomes. Next. Next.
Yeah, the result. Yeah.
What were the results? The results of exciting were a white paper setting the standards for the hyper-connected world harmonization, interoperability guidelines, an exciting short-term recommendation for EU-China collaboration with an MOU between AOTE, interoperability test between EU and China, and promotion of 5G IoT discussions. Next. Next, please.
Yep, it's already the next slide, yeah.
So yes, in the 5G PPP phase 3 international cooperation domain, we had this project, planned project, EMBB trials at 3.5 and in the V2X context, which led, of course, to the 5G drive that was presented. Next. And this is my last slide. This was the origin of 5G Drive, phase 3 project, 5G harmonized research and trials for service evolution. And the scope, the initial scope, as discussed with China Mobile, with the IMT 2020 promotion group, where the two types of applications, the EMBB at 3.5 on the one hand, and the V2X in 5G mode in the second hand. So you have just seen the presentation of this 5G Drive project, of course, introduced by this 5G PPP agreement with China. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jean-Pierre. So now we give the floor to our colleagues from China, China Mobile. Mr. Liu Jianhua and Ms. Zheng Yinxiang. Can you see my screen?
Thanks to moderator. These are Liu Jianhua and Zheng Yinxiang from China Mobile. So it's our honor here to review the collaboration between China 5G large-scale trial team and the European 5G drive team. First of all, please allow me to introduce our 5G product large-scale trial project, which is belong to the 2018 subjects of National Key Project. leading by China Mobile. Our project members are from mobile communication industrial vendors such as Huawei, Datang, Irest, universities such as Beijing University of Post and Communication, Chinese government department on V2X, such as Research Institute of Highway Ministry of Transport, Traffic Management Research, Institute of the Ministry of Public Security, and also the CV2X test service providers such as Shanghai Automobile City. So the primary object of this project is to build trial environment for 5G EMBB and the CV2X, and also to verify the end-to-end basic performance and also the interoperability and evaluate the key technicals such as the massive MIMO, service-based architecture, network slice, and edge computing, something like that. So go up. Okay, as Wu and Chento said, we here also are very glad to have an opportunity to cooperate with 5G Drive team, including joint workshops, tests, and research. The related results has been published in the form of papers in IEEE, ICC, and other online journals. So next, I want to briefly introduce the results of our cooperation. So on the next page. Yeah, the first achievement is the lower test methods for 5G network performance field trial, which was published in ICC 2020 workshop and provided some suggestions on 5G performance evaluation methods, including how to evaluate the beam level interference, different user distribution, and the vertical dimension performance evaluation. On beam level interference, we suggest that the interference beam is selected from a total of 22 beams, including horizontal and vertical dimension. So in terms of user different distribution, we recommend including stationary uniform distribution, half stationary and half mobile, and all mobile distribution. So on the vertical dimension testing, we present the test building with different height and the distance to verify the vertical coverage of the massive MIMO. Next page. Okay, so that second effort is 3D beamforming technologies and field trials in 5G massive MIMO systems. This paper has been accepted by the IEEE Open Journal of Vehicle Technology 2020 and consists study results of the antenna architecture and the beam generation algorithm on a larger scale antennas and outfield test. With the typical antenna architecture of 64 TXRX, maximum support 8 beams and 4 beams respectively in horizontal and vertical directions. The sales throughput can be 3 to 4 times higher than that of the single rate by using MU-MIMO algorithm. The next page. So next, I want to show you the latest progress of the China Mobile's 5G commercial network construction. In 2020, 2019, we deployed more than 50,000 NSA 5G base stations in more than 50 cities across the country. So at present, we have deployed more than 350,000 5G base stations in more than 300 cities across the country. And the 5G package users number has reached nearly 100 million for China Mobile. So as for the antenna types of the base station, 64 TRX and 32 TRX are primarily deployed, which 64 TRX is used in dense urban areas and 32 TRX is used in urban areas with lower building heights. Passive DAS and PQRRU are used for indoor coverage. In addition, 8-channel base station is primarily used in high-speed way environments, and the 4-channel base stations is primarily used in street station scenarios. So next, my colleague Zheng Xiang will show the progress on the CV2X.
Dear guys, let me introduce the progress of CV2X. And here is, we have finished, completed the test environment building in Shanghai, including the enclosed test zone and open roads. The test site can support the typical application scenario test of V2N, V2I, and V2V. And it also can simulate different roads, including highway, urban, and countryside road. The base station coverage area is about more than 20 square kilometers, and there are more than 13 intersections covered about more than 20 kilometers length of roads. Next, thank you. And here is the progress of our test. We have finished the end-to-end test cover from the OBU, ISU network, and the V2X application server. We have finished the function test of ISU from 3 vendors, including interface test and the interoperability test. We have tested about the traffic signal controller and also the interface test with V2X application server and also interface test with OBU. And about the interoperability test, we have tested the sending and receiving L1 and L2 data from different vendors, and also receiving BSM, SPAD, MAP, ISI message from different vendors. We also have finished more than 20 application scenario test case about such as glosser, intersection collision warning, forward collision warning, blind spot warning, and such. And also we have finished our performance test of LTE PC5. And the end-to-end delay is less than 30 milliseconds, and also the reliability is more than 90%. Also, we have cooperated to complete the 3 papers. Okay, that's all.
Thank you very much. All right, so I think we have a bit of a short of time, so I'm going to give the floor to Latif. Perhaps we will just go straight to our last presentation for Chih-Lin.
Thank you, Kai. And you have your first name is Grace in English, so you're very graceful in doing this thing. And I'm very proud and very pleased to have with us the lady that has initiated this collaboration between Europe and China. That's Chih-Lin. She is now on the East Coast of the US, so I guess she had to wake up a bit earlier. So you should know that this project is a total of $86 million, of which 80 million is in China. So it's a real deployment project in China, while ours is a pre-commercial or trial, as well as some research inside. And it's the first project that has adopted a new approach of getting, let's say, 2 regions, in this case, the European region and China, to work together, although the funding has to come from each part. And this adds a bit of complexity in terms of whether the objectives are going to be the same, whether the process is going to be the same, and so on and so forth. So this is a very important experiment for us, how to embed two great nations, to work with each other and do this. And there is nobody else than Chih-Lin to tell us from her perspective, since she has started herself this discussion with the European Commission back in the time of the first 5GPP summit in Rome, when she met Mario Campolago and Bernard Parani, and as Jean-Pierre has mentioned, the famous meeting in July 2017, which brought us this opportunity that we have offered on and won. Chih-Lin, can you hear me? If you could unmute, we should have put you as the first speaker anyway.
Next time we'll do that. Yeah, I think Chih-Lin is already there. I see that she is still muted.
Yeah, this is, I think it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
No, actually.
Hi.
Can you see me?
Yeah, we can hear you. So far, your voice is enough for us. Yeah.
Ah, we can see you.
Oh, there you
are. Okay. Hi. I guess it is a good time of the day over there, right? In Europe?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks for that really kind and generous introduction from my dear friend Latif. And indeed, I feel especially privileged to have this opportunity to join this special hour with the good team. As Latif said, actually it was 2016.
Yeah.
We kicked off the discussion with Mario and Bernard at the time, because I think by then there has been established a joint project between Europe and I think Japan and maybe Korea, I'm not sure. And we kind of felt that we needed to find a way to form good partnership between China and the European community. And at the time, I believe it was still at the stage that the Horizon 2020 Phase 3, as well as not even the 5G action plan, was not on the table yet, because it was June, I believe, 2016. And Horizon 2020 Phase 3 was being, I guess, kicked off as it's planning. And then we talked about a larger scale with China and the potentially forming sister cities, 5G sister cities across the two continents. And then later on, the 5G action plan came about, I think, in Europe. And as Jean-Pierre has highlighted, that one of the goals was to set up at least one 5G cities in each of the 28 member states of the European Union. So we thought, wow, we may even want to expand from 2 pairs to multiple pairs of 5G sister cities. Well, that part has not been covered in this twin project. Perhaps could be in the next project that we can put together. But I want to congratulate the team for this current twin project, because as the team has already highlighted, it was launched actually late in 2018. So not counting 2020, this year we are all in very special mode of operation. I think till the end of 2019, it's in just a little bit over 1 year's time, we have accomplished at least 3 mutual on-site visits, as well as joint testing and field trial. And in addition, I understand that the team had jointly, I think, 4 technical papers in high caliber journals. And also, there were 3 workshops that was held between the team members. And so if it was not that we are all in a special mode due to this pandemic situation, I believe this year would have been as productive as 2019. But even though I'm very happy that we still spend digital 20 for our that way, and I understand that there are some other doing
Wow, the voice is fainting, huh?
in I think next 2 months from now, later this year as well. And I believe that we had a good start with this project, where we look at the core technology of 5G, and we focused on one special vertical, which is the transportation and V2X. Certainly, I think going forward, there are still more work, both in joint testing and research, that we could do in both this aspect. But I would like to see a further expansion on some other potential verticals, whether it's education or medical health, or even cultural aspect, making use of the tremendous capability that full-fledged 5G network can bring. I really look forward to expanded opportunity and scope, both in the part of this joint project, as well as potentially in the future China and EU collaboration. And I think one very important aspect going forward globally is open ecosystem and bringing native AI, native intelligence end-to-end in the network and also across the network and the services alike. So I'm very happy to see that the Horizon Europe, which is I guess, the next stage of the Commissioner's plan, has highlighted the smart network and services as the main theme. And in terms of the timing, it's perfectly in line with the next 5-year plan of China. The 14th 5-year plan actually will start in 2021. So it's 2021 to 2025. In addition, the next midterm to long-term science and technology program of China also starts in 2021. It's a 15-year planning from 2021 to 2035. So both of these major planning and the programs are, in terms of the timing, totally in sync with the Horizon Europe, which is from 2021 to 2027, right? So I'm looking forward to multiple ways of syncing up the plan from the Europe and China side. And let's not only together build a really rewarding and valuable 5G era, but jointly, I think, like many parts, to start our journey into 6G preparation as well. So I think I've said enough. I should leave some time for Latif and the other members.
Yeah,
Thank
that's correct. Basically, you have answered the many questions that I wanted to ask you. So going back to your project, which we call the twinning project, now, what's the way forward? How many cars are going to be deployed using this technology? So what will be the impacts on the traffic in China and so on? Do you have any vision in that respect?
Do you mean specifically this project, or do you mean what's happened in China right now?
I think both. That would be good for us to know.
Well, I think the specific numbers in this project, probably Yingxia has better data than me, but it's more important to also know that actually this project is not the total scope what China is about, and it's not even the total
Can you come closer to the mic?
Mobile is about, because China Mobile has many joint projects, even in the V2X aspect. It's one of the 14 key vertical industries that China Mobile is collaborating across the board. We currently already have 100 national projects and 1,000 provincial level regional projects addressing various vertical industry partners. So I really cannot give you the number, but I can tell you that it's very exciting and stage. And in terms of this particular national test site outside Shanghai, I believe last time in the 5G World Forum, I gave a presentation on behalf of Madame Wang Zhiqing, if you recall, and she did that there was a major what she called Plug Fest event of the V2X, the autonomous driving, that involves hundreds of companies and equal number of vehicles in that large site. I'm not sure if this is the answer you are looking for, but
yes.
in terms of autonomous driving, there are also other things happening that I think we all should pay attention to, which is including Beijing and Shanghai. Many of the cities in China now are having driverless autonomous taxi services already, or not really taxi. It's like a driverless Uber service equivalent already. I think we will see the kind of network facilitated services in the transportation industry slowly and surely emerging. I'm not sure how it is in Europe yet, but I'm very excited about this cross-border corridor that of your plan. So I think I would exchange a lot of in these different approaches as well.
Yeah, that was my last question. We have a lot of cross-border projects doing that. Do you think your government could maybe talk to the European Commission, primarily to George Pereira or to Bernard, to see whether we can do some kind of cross-border type of project or rural 5G projects and so on and so forth?
Absolutely. I think that would be a fantastic idea. We should pursue that. Let's do that.
So I hope you will talk to your government, to approach these two gentlemen to create new calls for us.
We'll do that, and let's plan on that together. I mean,
thank you very much, Chih-Lin, and thank you, Latif. Actually, just as a final wrap-up note, so for 5G Drive, apart from all these trial results that we're putting together and other research results, we're going to also have actually a document provided at the request of the European Commission. We're going to provide a document summarizing all the lessons learned and the best practices of the collaboration. And I would definitely, in the process of editing that, I will take a look at the two documents that you just mentioned, Chih-Lin, the 5-year plan and the midterm and long-term scientific science and technology plan from China, so that we can have a better overview of how we go into the future. So hopefully for that, we can also have some exchange between the Europe team and China team, so that the document itself will be valuable to the Commission and hopefully to the Chinese government as well. So thank you very much, and thanks to all the speakers. I think we can close this session, and so I return the floor back to Pedro, our organizer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Digital around the world.